Your mother should have been your biggest fan, the person who celebrated every achievement, who took pride in your beauty, who thrilled at each success. But that's not what happened, was it? Instead of support, you received criticism. Instead of celebration, you felt competition. Instead of being seen as a daughter, you were treated as a rival. Carl Jung shed light on the psychological dynamics behind this disturbing phenomenon. And what he discovered explains why so many women carry deep wounds in their relationships with their mothers. Because the truth is, narcissistic mothers don't see their daughters as extensions of love. They see them as threats. Let me explain how this dynamic works from the beginning. Because most daughters only recognize the pattern when they're already deeply wounded. When a baby girl is born, the narcissistic mother may initially appear loving. The baby is an extension of her, an accessory that generates attention and admiration. People praise the mother for having a beautiful baby. The mother receives validation for having created something beautiful. In this phase, the relationship may seem normal, even affectionate. The narcissistic mother may be the most dedicated mother in the early years because the baby has no identity of her own. The baby is completely dependent. The baby is a perfect extension. But something begins to change as the daughter grows. As she develops her own personality, her own opinions, her own distinct appearance, as she begins to receive attention that doesn't go through the mother, as she begins to exist as a separate person. And it's at this moment that the silent competition begins. And this is the moment that most daughters fail to identify, because the change is gradual. A comment here, a criticism there, a look of disapproval, a subtle comparison. The daughter doesn't realize she's being seen as a threat. She only realizes that something has changed, that love seems conditional now, that she needs to do something to recover what seemed natural before. Jung explained that narcissists can't tolerate someone else receiving attention or admiration that they believe belongs to themselves. For the narcissistic mother, the growing daughter represents an existential threat. She is younger, fresher, full of potential. She represents everything the mother is losing or has already lost: youth, beauty, possibilities, the future. And instead of finding satisfaction in her daughter's flourishing, the narcissistic mother feels envy. An envy that she rarely admits, even to herself. An envy that disguises itself as concern, as constructive criticism, as wanting the best for you. She doesn't say, "I'm envious of your youth." She says, "I'm worried about your weight." She doesn't say, "I can't stand that you're more beautiful." She says, "That dress doesn't flatter you." But beneath the mask, what exists is pure competition. A competition that the daughter never asked to participate in. A competition where the rules are defined by the mother and change constantly. A competition that the daughter can't win, because winning means losing maternal love. Do you remember specific moments? Maybe when you were getting ready for a party and your mother made a comment about your weight, your clothes, your hair. Maybe when you achieved something important and she found a way to minimize it or bring the attention back to herself. Maybe when you were happy and she found a reason to make you feel insecure. Maybe when you received a compliment from someone and your mother immediately pointed out a flaw that neutralized the compliment. These weren't isolated moments. They were patterns. They were the manifestation of a competition that she never admitted to waging. And each moment left a mark. Each criticism weakened a piece of your confidence. Each comparison distanced you a little more from who you really were. Jung would call this shadow projection. The narcissistic mother carries deep insecurities about her own worth, her own appearance, her own place in the world. But instead of facing these insecurities, she projects them onto her daughter. She tries to make her daughter feel what she herself feels. She tries to diminish her daughter so as not to feel diminished. She uses her daughter as a screen on which she projects all her fears about aging, about loss of beauty, about irrelevance. And the most common form of this projection is through constant criticism of appearance. The daughter of a narcissistic mother grows up hearing comments about her body. "You're fat. You're too skinny. That dress doesn't flatter you. Your hair is awful. You should wear more makeup. You wear too much makeup. You look like a slut. You look like a nun. Nothing is ever right. Nothing is ever good enough. The daughter lives in a constant state of evaluation, never knowing which version of her will be criticized today. And the unconscious goal of these criticisms is clear: to undermine the daughter's confidence, to make her never feel beautiful enough, attractive enough, worthy enough. Because an insecure daughter doesn't represent a threat. A daughter who doesn't believe in her own beauty won't outshine the mother. A daughter who doubts herself will always seek maternal approval, keeping the mother at the center. But the competition goes far beyond physical appearance. The competition invades every area of life. Narcissistic mothers also compete for male attention. This may seem disturbing, and it is. When the daughter starts dating, the mother may behave in strange ways. She may flirt with her daughter's boyfriends. She may try to be the center of attention when they are present. She may criticize every relationship, never finding anyone good enough. She may ask inappropriate questions about her daughter's intimate life. She may compete for who is more attractive when they are together in public. Or in more subtle cases, she may simply become cold and distant when the daughter is in a happy relationship. She may create dramas that demand attention precisely at the moments when the daughter is focused on her partner. She may get sick whenever the daughter has a date. She may make the daughter choose between her and the relationship. And the message is clear: you are not allowed to be loved by anyone other than me. And even my love has conditions. Jung would say that this happens because the narcissistic mother sees the daughter not as a separate person, but as an extension of herself. And extensions are not allowed to have lives of their own. Extensions exist to serve the needs of the narcissist. When the daughter turns to a romantic partner, she is betraying the mother. She is giving attention that should belong to the mother. She is proving that she can be loved in a way that the mother fears she no longer is. Now let me show you how this dynamic affects the daughter on deep levels, because the damage goes far beyond what most people realize. A research paper published in 2025 in the journal Frontiers in Psychology studied daughters' perceptions of maternal narcissism. Researchers analyzed 416 female college students between the ages of 18 and 24 and identified 9 key factors of maternal narcissism: dominance, arrogance, self-sufficiency, superiority, excitability, exploitation, entitlement, jealousy, and intolerance. Each of these factors leaves specific marks on the daughter. The most revealing finding was this: the study found a strong correlation between maternal narcissism and narcissism in daughters. But it also found that maternal narcissism was negatively associated with expressions of empathy in daughters. In other words, narcissistic mothers create daughters who either replicate the narcissism or lose the ability to express empathy in a healthy way. The daughter learns that relationships are about competition, not connection. She learns that vulnerability is weakness. She learns that other women are threats. The wound runs deep. The daughter of a narcissistic mother develops what psychologists call imposter syndrome. She doesn't believe in her own achievements. She feels like she's a fraud. That, at any moment, someone will discover that she's not as good as she seems, because her entire life, her mother has communicated exactly that she wasn't good enough, that her achievements were luck or chance, that she didn't deserve what she had. And when the daughter gets close to success, the anxiety skyrockets. Because success means visibility. Visibility means attention. And attention was exactly what her mother wouldn't allow her to have. Success becomes dangerous. Shining becomes threatening. The daughter learns to hide, to minimize her accomplishments, to sabotage her own progress. She learns that it's safer to be invisible. Carl Jung described a concept called the negative mother complex. This complex forms when the relationship with the mother is marked by rejection, competition, or emotional neglect. The daughter internalizes a distorted image of the feminine. She may reject her own femininity. She may have difficulty connecting with other women. She may see all women as potential competitors. exactly as her mother saw her. She may be afraid of aging because she saw what aging did to her mother. She may be afraid of having daughters because she fears replicating the cycle. According to Jung, this complex significantly impacts a woman's self-perception and relationships. This creates a tragic cycle. The daughter wounded by the narcissistic mother may have difficulty forming female friendships. She may distrust other women. She may feel more comfortable with men because she never learned that women can be allies instead of rivals. She may interpret any success of another woman as a personal threat. She may become competitive in work environments dominated by women. She may sabotage other women without even realizing that she is repeating what was done to her. But here is something that few talk about, and that changes the perspective completely. The narcissistic mother who competes with her daughter isn't really seeing the daughter. She is seeing herself. She is seeing all the possibilities that she didn't realize. She is seeing the youth that she lost. She is seeing the beauty that she fears she's losing. She is seeing the freedom that she never had. She is seeing the future that she won't have. The competition isn't really with the daughter. It's with time. It's with aging. It's with a society that values young women and discards older women. The daughter is just the most convenient target for all that anger and fear that the narcissistic mother can't process. The daughter is just the closest mirror, reflecting everything that the mother fears losing. In societies that disproportionately value youth and female appearance, mothers and daughters can find themselves competing within restrictive beauty norms. The cultural devaluation of older women creates particular pressure points for narcissistic mothers who watch their daughters entering their peak years. This societal sexism amplifies pre-existing maternal insecurities. This isn't an excuse. The damage caused is real and deep, but understanding the origin helps to depersonalize it. It helps the daughter realize that it was never about her. It was never about her flaws or inadequacies. It was always about the mother's inability to deal with her own wounds. It was always about a society that teaches women to compete instead of cooperate. It was always about a mother who never healed her own self-esteem wounds. Now let me show you the specific ways that this competition manifests, because recognizing the patterns is the first step to breaking free from them. The first form is appearance sabotage. The narcissistic mother may sabotage her daughter's appearance in subtle ways that seem accidental but are systematic. She may buy clothes that don't flatter the daughter. She may insist on haircuts that don't suit her. She may make negative comments right before important events, ensuring that the daughter arrives insecure. She may even fatten up the daughter deliberately, offering excessive food and then criticizing the weight. She may give gifts that subtly communicate inadequacy, anti-aging creams for a teenager, clothes of the wrong size, makeup that doesn't match the skin tone. The second form is spotlight theft. In any situation where the daughter should be the center of attention, the mother finds a way to redirect the focus to herself. At the daughter's graduation, she creates a drama or gets sick. At the daughter's wedding, she wears a dress that competes with the bride or creates a scene. At the birth of the grandchild, she makes everything about her own needs. At the daughter's promotion, she talks about her own past achievements. The daughter is never allowed to shine alone. Every moment that should be hers is stolen. The third form is the invalidation of achievements. When the daughter achieves something important, the mother minimizes it. Oh, but that's not so difficult. Anyone could have done it. It was different in my day. You only succeeded because you were lucky. Or she changes the subject quickly, unable to tolerate that the attention is on the daughter. Or she finds a problem, a flaw, something that prevents complete celebration. Or she transforms the daughter's achievement into something about herself. I always knew you could do it because I raised you well. The fourth form is competition for partners. As I mentioned before, this can manifest in disturbing ways. The mother may flirt with the daughter's boyfriend. She may criticize all the partners, never approving of anyone. She may try to interfere in the relationships. She may even, in extreme cases, try to seduce the daughter's partners. She may wear revealing clothes when the daughter's partners are present. She may make comments about her own sex life, because for the narcissistic mother, proving that she is still attractive is more important than the daughter's happiness. The fifth form is infantilization or forced aging. Some narcissistic mothers keep the daughter as a child forever, preventing her development, her independence, her maturity. They don't teach basic skills. They criticize every attempt at autonomy. They do everything for their daughter to keep her dependent. Others do the opposite. They force their daughter to mature prematurely, treating her like an adult from a young age, denying her childhood, making her take care of the mother instead of being cared for, demanding emotional maturity that a child cannot have. Both strategies serve the same purpose, to prevent the daughter from flourishing as a full and independent woman. The sixth form is triangulation. The narcissistic mother frequently pits her daughter against other people, against the father. Your father doesn't love you like I do. Against siblings, your sister has always been more beautiful but you're smarter. Against friends, your friends are jealous of you. She creates conflicts and positions herself as the only reliable ally. She isolates her daughter to keep her dependent, and when the daughter tries to get close to others, the mother sabotages those connections. No one can be more important than the mother. The seventh form is role reversal. The narcissistic mother frequently makes her daughter take care of her emotionally. The daughter becomes the confidant, the therapist, the caregiver. The mother shares adult problems with the child, makes the daughter mediate marital conflicts, uses the daughter as emotional support, and when the daughter needs care too, the mother is not available. The daughter learns that her needs don't matter, that she exists to serve others. Carl Jung would say that all these strategies serve to keep the daughter in the role of object, not subject. The daughter exists to serve the narcissistic needs of the mother. She's not allowed to exist as a separate person, with her own desires, with her own success, with her own beauty. She is an extension, not a person. But something important happens when the daughter grows up and leaves home. The system is challenged. The adult daughter may start to notice the patterns. She may start to question why she never felt good enough. She may start to see that the problem was never her. And at that moment, the narcissistic mother often intensifies her tactics. What worked when the daughter was a child may not work anymore. So the mother adapts. She may become more critical, trying to re-establish control through the old formula. She may become more dramatic, creating crises that demand attention and presence. She may become a victim, accusing her daughter of abandonment and ingratitude. She may try to triangulate with grandchildren, repeating the patterns with a new generation. She may threaten to disinherit. She may get sick whenever the daughter establishes boundaries. She may manipulate other family members against the daughter, and the daughter faces a difficult choice: to maintain the relationship as it was, continuing to be hurt, to try to establish boundaries, facing the mother's furious resistance, or to walk away completely, carrying the guilt that was implanted since childhood. Each option has costs. Each option requires courage. None of these options are easy. But understanding the dynamic allows you to make conscious choices instead of reacting automatically. Now let me tell you about how this wound affects future relationships. Because the damage isn't contained in the mother-daughter relationship. The damage spreads to every area of life. The daughter of a narcissistic mother often attracts partners who replicate the dynamic. She attracts people who criticize her, who compete with her, who make her feel like she's never good enough. This happens because the familiar feels safe. Even when the familiar is painful, she knows this script. She knows how to function in it. She knows her role. Healthy relationships seem strange, even threatening. Partners who treat her well seem suspicious. She may even sabotage good relationships because she doesn't believe she deserves them. She may also have difficulty accepting compliments. When someone genuinely compliments her, she's suspicious. She looks for ulterior motives. She minimizes the compliment. She diverts the attention because her whole life compliments came with conditions or came followed by criticisms. She doesn't know how to receive unconditional love because she's never experienced it. She doesn't know how to accept that she's beautiful, intelligent, worthy of love. The daughter of a narcissistic mother may have problems with intimacy. She may shut down emotionally, protecting herself from being hurt again. She may build walls that no one can cross, or she may give herself completely, hoping to finally receive the love that the mother never gave. She may lose herself in relationships, abandoning herself to please the partner. Both extremes create problems. Both extremes are attempts to deal with a wound that was never healed, and when she has her own daughters, the cycle threatens to repeat itself. She may become overprotective, trying to give what she didn't receive, or she may, without realizing it, repeat the patterns of competition that she internalized. She may feel jealous of her own daughter and be horrified with herself. She may criticize her daughter's appearance and then wonder why she did that. She may compete for attention from the husband with her own daughter. She may sabotage her daughter's success and not even realize it. Carl Jung was clear about this. What doesn't become conscious repeats itself. The patterns we don't recognize continue controlling us. The traumas we don't heal, we transmit. The narcissistic mother probably had a narcissistic mother, and that mother too. The cycle can span generations. The cycle may seem impossible to break, but there is hope. The cycle can be broken. You can be the generation that interrupts the transmission. The first step is to recognize that the problem wasn't you. You weren't too ugly, too fat, too skinny, too inadequate. You were a child who deserved unconditional love and received competition. The fault was your mother's, not yours. The inability was hers and not yours. You didn't do anything wrong. You were simply born to a woman who couldn't love without competing. The second step is to separate your mother's voice from your own voice. That internal critic that says you're not good enough, that your appearance is inadequate, that you don't deserve success. Well, that is not your voice. It's your mother's voice that you internalized. And you can choose to stop listening to it. Every time that voice speaks, you can recognize, that's my mother. It's not true. I don't need to believe it. The third step is to allow yourself to be seen. Daughters of narcissistic mothers often hide. They avoid success. They avoid visibility. They avoid shining. Because visibility was dangerous. It attracted the mother's competition and criticism. But you're no longer under her control. You can shine now. You have permission to be seen. The world is safe for your light. The fourth step is to build healthy female relationships. Find women who celebrate your success instead of competing, who are happy when you are happy, who support you instead of belittling you. These relationships can heal the wound left by the mother. They can show you that women can be allies, not rivals. They can rewrite the story your mother told you about what it means to be a woman. The fifth step is establishing boundaries with your mother. This can mean limiting contact. It might mean not sharing achievements with her. It can mean refusing to participate in triangulations. Perhaps it even means leaving the room when she starts to criticize. It might, in some cases, mean complete estrangement. You have a right to protect yourself. You owe no loyalty to someone who hurts you. The sixth step is working with a professional. The wound from a narcissistic mother is deep and complex. A therapist who understands narcissistic dynamics can help you process the pain, to recognize patterns, to build an identity separate from the shadow projection your mother made of you. You don't have to do this alone. You deserve help. Carl Jung described the process of individuation as the journey of becoming who you really are. For daughters of narcissistic mothers, this journey involves specific work, separating who you are from the criticisms you received, discovering the woman you would be if you had been supported instead of competed with, finding your own beauty, your own worth, your own voice, building an identity that is not defined by what your mother said about you. As Jung would emphasize, this is about uncovering the self beneath the layers of imposed expectations. There's a practice that can help in this process. Find photos of yourself from different ages. Look at the little girl you were before the competition began. Look at the teenager who learned to doubt herself. Look at the young woman who carried the weight of criticisms, and ask each one, what did you need to hear that you didn't hear? The little girl maybe needed to hear that she was beautiful exactly as she was. The teenager maybe needed to hear that her beauty didn't threaten anyone, that she could shine without fear. The young woman maybe needed to hear that her success was deserved and celebrated, that she wasn't stealing anything from anyone by being happy. And then, tell each one what she needed to hear. Say it aloud. Say it as many times as necessary. Be for yourself the mother you deserve to have. Give yourself the validation that was denied. Celebrate your own achievements. Admire your own beauty. Be your own cheerleader. The narcissistic mother who competed with her own daughter caused real damage. She stole security. She undermined confidence. She transformed what should have been the most nurturing relationship in life into an arena of competition. But she does not have the last word. The past doesn't have to determine the future. You can heal. You can break free. You can look in the mirror and see beauty without the critical voice of your mother echoing. You can achieve success without paralyzing anxiety. You can have relationships where you are celebrated instead of competed with. You can raise daughters who will never know this pain. The competition is over. You have already won, not because you defeated your mother, but because you survived, because you are here, seeking to understand, seeking to heal, because you are choosing a different path, because you are breaking the cycle. Your mother saw you as a rival, but you were never her rival. You were her daughter. You were a child. You deserved protection, not competition. And now, as an adult, you can finally give yourself what she couldn't give: unconditional acceptance, genuine celebration, love without competition. Jung would say that integrating this wound is part of the process of becoming whole. Not pretending it didn't happen, not minimizing the pain, but also not letting the wound define who you are. You are more than the daughter of a narcissistic mother. You are a whole woman, with your own story to write, your own beauty to express, your own light to shine. And no competition can take that away from you. As Jung eloquently stated, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." Did your mother compete with you, or did she support you? Comment down below how it was to grow up with a mother who saw you as a rival. And if your mother was the opposite, a mother who celebrated you, comment too. All types of experiences deserve to be discussed. All stories are valid. I will respond to all the comments in the next few hours.